1700block. I'm your host, Lamar. I'm a little late because you already know what I was doing. I was watching the Pittsburgh Steelers. I ain't even gonna talk bad about y'all. I ain't gonna talk bad. I ain't gonna say nothing about y'all. You know, I'm a Ravens fan. But I'm gonna let y'all go ahead because I'm gonna I'm gonna let the game speak for itself. I don't feel no way, one way or another. But like I said, and I said it again, like I said it in one of my earlier podcasts, beat Baltimore. You know, y'all don't get no points for beating Baltimore, and we don't get no points for beating y'all. Like football bigger than just Baltimore, Pittsburgh. So you know something wrong with my camera. That's my take on on the whole thing. Like y'all beating us and us beating y'all. That don't do nothing. I think this might be Mike last season, not because he's a bad coach, just that you know, when you stand at in the NFL for that long, man, and you can't bring a Super Bowl home and you keep winning division titles, like they don't mean nothing no more to them people, them big people, them big boys who spend their money and pay your salary. Yeah, they eyes set on something else. And, a lot of times people say it's not the coach. The coach can't make the players catch the ball. It's the plays. If you have a good coach and a team that's capable of winning, you should bring wins, man, not division titles. Division titles ain't enough. You're gonna win division titles, you need to go all the way. You need to go all the way. 19, 18, 19 years in the seat in that game, man. You gotta do a little better than that. You're expected to be better. Your season coach. And people, they expect for you to not catch the ball, but 19 years, man, 18, 19 years, you got to do better than average. You've been in the game too long. You pretty much know what to do. And when you don't get certain things done, um, they get rid of it. Sports always been like that. And that ain't going to change. I'm trying to do something with this light. Um, I like Denver. I think that their defense is just amazing, man. And Aaron Rodgers old. He a seasoned quarterback, man, but he got miles on them tires, man. He ain't strong like he used to be. So you can't expect to get, but you can't expect to get a lot out of him. And he's not a bad quarterback. It's just that his time has come and gone. They try to go get an old dog and teach him new tricks, but nah, you got them kids out there, man. You got them kids. Them kids come out of school. Kids playing, man. Them kids playing. Them kids strong. They fast. It's a different game. It's a different game, man. You 40 out there. You playing with them kids. They just come out. They fresh out of high school. College. I mean, they come out of college. They fresh. You out there 40? Nah, You hit the ground. You can't even get up and move. So, it's gonna be interesting to see, you know. And I think that Harbaugh and Tom, man, I think their time has just come, man. It's over. Like, I mean, yeah, if they don't be, they can easily go to another team, but it's still over for them. I mean, you gotta know when to come out the game, man. You gotta know when to hold them and when to fold them, and nigga, go be a commentator or something. So that's my take. I like Denver and Seattle. I always been a Seattle fan. It's just that I let them be more, so I gotta ride with the home team, even though they be playing like some bombs. But I'm still gonna roll with them. I'm going with the purple and black. To my Pittsburgh family, I'm sorry for your loss, cause y'all talked all that trash about Baltimore, what y'all did to us, and I said the same thing. Beating us don't prove nothing. And beating y'all don't prove nothing. The NFL is bigger than the Baltimore and Pittsburgh. So y'all don't get no points for beating us because y'all got the snap beat. Y'all got y'all ass drug out. Yeah, so I just had to. And you knew I was gonna go there. All that crap you talked to me, try to make me feel bad. Yeah, okay. All right. So let's go with I'm gonna go back to Venezuela because I need you to understand some of them oil tankers that were seized didn't have nothing on them. So they call ghost tankers, right? And they just empty. And so it's like they empty and it seems like it's something going on. And you get that one and the one that has oil on it is the one that get passed. So the Trump administration is actually going after Venezuela because Venezuela was sanctioned in 2015, right? And the U.S. sanctioned Venezuela innovated in 2016 targeted the government Nicholas Van Dorn for human rights abuse, corruption, and undermining democracy, blocking asset of officials and state entities like oil companies and restricting financial access while initially broad recent in January 26th asked by the Trump administration have seen limited conditional relief for the oil sanctions to encourage Democrats reform after Maduro removed alongside new designations for Maduro's family and associates, creating a complex environment for sanctions and political easing tied to political progress. So you got one crook going after another crook. So you got Donald Trump going after a crook, and then you got another crook getting uh, punished by another crook. So you got two crooks. One ain't no better than Maduro, and ain't done nothing no worse than Trump done. You know, they both Friday and they both on the same page. So they freezed President Maduro's family officials freezing their U.S. assets and banned. So they banned some of their assets, state-owned oil companies, the central bank, Venezuela, and other government bodies are blocked. So the financial restrictions prohibited and dealing in the new Venezuela debt, accusing U.S. financial market restrictions on oil, gold, and mineral sanctions through license have been issued and revoked. So they really want their minerals. They want their gold. You know, they've been stealing forever. Caucasian people steal, man. They stole everything. They ain't never invented nothing on this earth. They stole everything. And they still stealing. And they gonna keep stealing. They gonna keep stealing. They gonna keep stealing. Hold on. So I just want you to know that a lot of stuff that be going on in this administration, it ain't new stuff, man. It's old stuff, and the president is doing old stuff, making it seem like he really doing something right, but he just backing up stuff that already been done, and he trying to go after people because they greedy, and so anyway they can make a couple billion. You can't say anywhere they gonna make $1 because anywhere they can make a billion or a couple $1 trillion, they gonna try. Um, and I don't know if they mean well, because some people mean well and just don't know the difference, and they just mean well. So I don't know if they mean well and just don't know what they doing, or they just cruddy and just don't care. So I think they cruddy and just don't care. So that was in early 2026. They followed Maduro captured U.S. aim to stabilize Venezuela with Treasury Secretary. Um, they signed a potential wider sanctions and relief. In 25, the general license were revoked in March of 2025, but recently removed aim to allow all transport and investment requires U.S. diligence for heavy crude. So the heavy crude oil, we kind of do need it. Um, but they not really, and I'm on my last podcast I talked about, I kind of wanted to finish it. They not producing oil like they're not producing the barrels that they was 3 million barrels. Yeah, they have a, a, um, a proven reserve, but it's not like they have a proven reserve and they kicking out 300 some billion, gallons of barrels of oil like every day. No, it's not that. So those numbers are old and those statistics are old. And so they are great ones for manipulation, even though they have the potential to do that. That was back in the day. The potential to produce that kind of crude is no longer available in Venezuela without dumping too much money. So, and like I said before, a good idea is just a good idea. It's damn near impossible. It's going to be really tough to do that. Um, so that's probably not going to happen. Um, Case in point is that the Epstein files are being hidden in front of a whole lot of other stuff. So when people really want the Epstein files, that's what they really want. All right. Um, and I think it's a lot of stuff in the way, so they can't get to the files. All right, so they was hit with some sanctions because they did some stuff and they owed some people some money and they didn't pay them. The pressure on Maduro remains to hold free and fair elections. But now the vice president said that Maduro is their president and they want him back. So um, the United States grabbed him. It was an illegal grab. Um, they seized the oil tankers, but it wasn't like they really took them. They seized them because they was already under sanctions. It's like if you owe me some money and I say, yo, give me my money. If you don't give me my money, if I ever become in position to come and take your stuff, I'm gonna take it because you already owe me money. That's what's really going on. Do they really want to take it over? Yes. It's Venezuela and uh, do they owe people money? Yeah, they owe people money. But the United States ain't the one that just go take them people's stuff. But that's basically like what happened. Like, so they was already under sanctions. So the stuff they doing really was really already put in place, and they just doing it. And so people that really don't know, it looks like the U.S. is stealing. And one way they stealing, but a sanction just mean that your credit bad. And when your credit bad, what I do, I either repossess it or I mess with it to the point where I really could take it because you made me a promising note. A promising note said that you was gonna pay me and you didn't, and you still shipping oil. So that's what's really going on right now. Did they do it the right way? No. But that's in layman's term, that's what's really going on. And I wanted to clear that up because once you get like a better understanding of what's really going on with this oil, and one way they taking it, and another way it was already sanctioned. And sanction just mean that you owe me. They went to court. They said they was going to pay these people their money, these oil companies, and they didn't pay them their money. So Trump was like, "Oh, so since you ain't paid us, you know what I mean? I'm gonna take your stuff." Basically, that's what really happened. All right. Sanctions remain in place but are being adjusted through a combination of new restrictions and targeted license created uncertainty for business. And this situation is dynamic with the future changing depending on political development in Venezuela. So we had to see what happens to that. All right. Um, and you know why they sanction. I talked about why they sanction, right? Um, so that's really what's going on with the Venezuela thing. Um, So yes, some of Venezuela oil tankers seized or pursued by U.S. in early January 26. They was empty while others were loaded with sanctions crude, with the empty ones often part of a shadow. It's called a shadow fleet, used to evade sanctions by changing names and flags like the Madeira, formerly Bella, which was empty, but like to oil transport across to recent news reports. So the Bella was empty. So the Bella was empty and one had crude in it. The one that had crude in it, they caught that one. That was the first one. The second one they caught was the Bella, was empty. It was the Bella. It was in international waters. They tracked it. The ship turned the GPS off so you couldn't track it. So by you couldn't track it for about 2 weeks, we was following it. And Russia came and followed it with a sub. All right. And then to my knowledge, when they turned the tracker back on, we caught up with it and went and grabbed it. But it's empty. I mean, they switched the flag to it was a Venezuela flag, and they painted the flag out and painted a Russian flag on the side of the vessel. And I guess that was just that to get it. Because it talks about an empty tank. The U.S. seized a Russian flag. It was empty, but used to transport Venezuela oil to other empty ships were reported leaving Venezuela water to avoid seizing. So it left because they knew the U.S. was going to take it. A load of tankers otherwise like the Sophia were fully loaded with Venezuelan crude oil, also seized by U.S. as part of a broader effort against sanctioned oil flow. The Dark Moon, several tankers left Venezuela with their transporters often dark moon to hide their movements, carrying either loaded or empty vessels. These actions are part of an escalated U.S. strategy to dispute Venezuela sanctions oil trade following the capture of President Maduro. In essence, the status empty or full varied by vessels, with empty tank being used to avoid detection, while loaded oils were seized for carrying sanctioned oil. So they was gonna get them anyway. It's just that the Trump administration went after them. I think the Biden administration put sanctions on Venezuela oil. And when the Trump administration came in, they was like, "Oh, we just gonna go and get them because they bullies." So that's kind of like really what happened. The U.S. administration, primarily through the Treasury Department of Foreign Asset Control, management sanctions on Venezuela oil targeting and release entities using various execution orders like 13850 and 13884 restrictions transportation and seized sanctions asset. The recent political changes involving Maduro movement has led to the U.S. Relations for sanctions to control oil sales and encourage U.S. industry to return. So they really want the oil. They really want the United States oil companies to go. And they was like, no, we ain't going because we lost money and we never did get our money. And you'll be a fool to think we coming back. So that's what's really going on with the oil thing. All right. And that's about it for the night, man. I just wanted to kind of clear that out right quick. It's late. I mean, the Steelers fans gonna be up anyway because they ain't gonna be able to sleep at night. But the Ravens fans gonna be able to sleep because we already know we ain't had no Super Bowl team. we was trying to go. We was kind of lucky we made it that far. So congratulations to the Pittsburgh Steelers on um their division title. You know what I mean? They got the division title. Congratulations. I was getting a little thirsty. And we're gonna see who take the whole thing. It's just football. I don't know why Pittsburgh fans get so upset. I got some Ravens fans too. They get so upset when we lose, man. They can't eat. You can't call them and shit. You can't talk to them, and I don't know why y'all get so upset. It's just a football game. Listen, y'all ain't got no injuries. Y'all ain't got to clean y'all locker out or none of that. Nothing. So y'all need to really get y'all something together. You know what I mean? And I pray that y'all do. Um, hey, excuse me, y'all. And you know what I always say. If you having a tough day and you missing somebody, man, I'm praying for you. We praying for you. It's gonna get better. You just hang in there and it's gonna get better. And you're gonna have some good days and you're gonna have some bad days. And hopefully this is a good day. And your days will get better after the day. So I'm your host, Lamont. Welcome to the podcast 1700 block. I'm out. Have a great day tomorrow, and I'll see you soon. Oh, congratulations to my friend, Dr. Doc. I call him Dr. Rams. Um he had a good hit, man. He had like 1.9K on his post. So that was good. Tommy, podcast, doing a good job. I'm gonna bring you all the information when I come back. I got